Selangor is located in the middle of the peninsula of Malaysia and it surrounds Kuala Lumpur geographically. Selangor is the most populous state in Malaysia, it is the most developed and it has the highest GDP. Despite its modern infrastructure, the Mahmeri, who are an indigenous tribe of Selangor, continue to maintain their language and culture to this day. Selangor has an ecotourism centre and a number of protected areas to safeguard biodiversity and wildlife. And it is also home to the Forest Research Institute of Malaysia, FRIM, which promotes sustainable management and optimal use of forest resources in Malaysia. Tourist attractions include Batu Caves with its Hindu cave temples, the Sultan Salahuddin Abdulaziz Mosque, Malaysia's top theme park Sunway Lagoon, and Pulau Ketam or Crab Island. I grew up in the next state over from Selangor, so my parents would take us there on day trips every once in a blue moon. And we always stopped over in Ampang for its famous Ampang Yong Tau Foo and in Kajang for its famous Satay Kajang, both of which we will be featuring in today's cooking segments. Yong Tau Foo literally means a stuffed tofu, but it's not just tofu that gets stuffed, there's all kinds of different vegetables and it's stuffed with a fish paste. Ampang Yong Tau Foo is usually served in a clear broth with a side dip, and I'm going to show you how to make the fish paste from scratch and show you how to put everything together. Have a look. So what we're going to do, we're going to make the broth. We're going to turn this fish over here into fish paste, and we're going to stuff different types of vegetables and tofu, and then we're going to cook them up, and then we're going to serve them with the broth, and also we're going to make a dip for it. Okay, so quite a few different components to this particular recipe, but it will be well worth your time. I've got some chicken stock that I made. I'm going to use some soya beans. Okay. And then I'm going to add it into a piece of muslin cloth, just tie it up with some string and add it to the soup and boil it some more, okay, to get some flavors into the soup that's going to be served up with the stuffed vegetables. So let's throw that in. And also the other thing I'm going to add, this is what we know in Malaysia as sengkuang, sagot, or in America, they call it jicama. You can also use daikon if you like as well. So we're going to simmer this and I'll come back and we'll do the fish. Okay, so what we want to do with this fish, we want to turn this into a fish paste, okay? This time, because I managed to get mackerel cheap, it's on the bone, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful with it. But because I managed to get it cheap, I decided to have a go at using mackerel for the first time in many, many years. And what I'm going to do is actually, since it's on the bone, I'm going to actually throw the bone into the soup in a bit as well, okay? Just to, again, get more flavor out of it. Back in the day, they didn't have food processor, and my parents used to make this, so they used to have to mince this by hand, you know, using a Chinese cleaver. Not all types of fish fillets would work. Bass is an option, red fish fillets an option. So you see the fish that you get out of it, right? So here's the fish, and we're going to blitz this into a paste. So we've got the fish, a bit of water, some tapioca starch, pepper, and chicken powder. And we're just going to pulse this. You have to apply a very light touch, otherwise you could end up ruining your fish paste. Chinese in particular are very particular about texture of food, okay? Not just how it tastes, but how it feels in your mouth. And the idea is with pounding this is it expels all the air bubbles trapped in within the meat and cause it to be more bouncy, okay? So we've got the fish paste. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get our vegetables ready. And by vegetables, I mean vegetable and tofu, because literally Yong Tau Foo means stuffed tofu. You can use these ones here. You can stuff tofu puffs as well. We got some chilies. some eggplant. In Malaysia, the variety of eggplant in Malaysia is like long and skinny. And I'm gonna stuff some mushrooms as well. In Malaysia, we would use dried shiitake mushrooms, but we're just gonna break off the stem so that it creates this cavity here. The other thing I'm gonna stuff is tofu skin. That's one of my favorites actually. So I've got these that I soaked in water before. The chilies, you cut open and pull out the stem. So some okra. Just make sure you cut a slit without breaking it in half. So it's a colorful array of different types of vegetables and tofu. So with the tofu, what we'll do is just cut a little slit in the middle here and take it out. Personally, when I do stuffed tofu, I usually use tofu puffs. So I'm going to do my favorite. This is eggplant. So because this eggplant is really fat, we're going to cut it in half. And then we're going to cut it in slices with a slit in the middle. Okay, so you cut it almost all the way down, but not quite, and then you cut the second cut will be all the way down. So you end up with these little, basically, eggplant pockets. Stuff it. Mushroom. The okra. Okay, so we've got some stuffed vegetables, different varieties of vegetables. As far as cooking them, if you were Hakka like me, you will fry all of them. But in Ampang, at Ampang Yong Tau Foo, they would generally be a mixture of poaching and frying. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fry some of them, we're going to poach the rest. Okay, add a bit of oil here. These ones are done. So here's some of the stock from the pot from earlier, and we're going to add these in here. Let's cover it for a little bit, and we'll come back in a second. So what we want to do when this is done, we're going to make some sauce, which is what we call it in Malaysia, tim jiong, which is a sweet sauce, literally. But a lot of people, if you have to make it from scratch, you would use ground bean paste, add some sugar, adjust the seasoning, and it looks brown, right? But here in Australia, you can do the same thing, or a lot of the time we just actually use hoisin sauce. But we would dilute it a little bit, maybe adjust the seasoning, because you're going to find with any kind of Malaysian bottled sauce that the flavors, the intensity of flavors will vary depending on the brand that you buy. You know that it's done when the meat is not, when you press down on it, it resists, okay? If it's still raw, then it would just sink in, whereas if it's cooked, when you press on it, it will resist. So let's move this, and we're going to make the sauce next. So there you go. That's what this looks like. Get some hoisin sauce, the water, the sugar. So you just want to cook it till the sugar dissolves. Okay, so that's the sauce you're going to serve with this. And remember the soup, the stock that we made earlier? Here it is again. What we're going to do now, you can just add a little bit of salt and pepper. Give it a nice mild seasoning. When you order your Yong Tau Foo, you look at the menu on the board and you go, I want 2 pieces of tofu, 1 eggplant, and 1 stuffed chili, and some tofu skin. And it'll come out to you something like this. Some sauce to go with it. That's the sweet sauce. With that, right? Give it a go, and let me know how it turns out. And don't forget to tag us on social media if you do post the pictures. And if you want the full recipe and more tips, make sure you sign up at malaysianchefs.com street food journeys. Okay, I'll see you next time.
The history begins with the tin mines.
Right.
So they were working on the tin mines, and then when the little town started, this is where the Yong Tau Foo started back in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
So everybody came around here just to eat the Yong Tau Foo and the sui cows. You know, we used to come, and they were originally not here. They were in the marketplace further down.
Okay.
So as a kid, I used to come with my dad. We drove up all the way from Klang just to come and eat Yong Tau Foo.
Yeah.
And the shops are very small.
Right.
So now that, you know, they've opened up this area, it's sort of expanded, became very big.
Right.
So the shops are not like what they used to be,
Right.
what it is now. So it is so much bigger.
Yeah.
Everybody in KL comes here to eat Yong Tau Foo.
Yeah.
The Batu Cave. It's a special cave because there is a Hindu temple at the slope of this hill. This temple is mostly visited by the Hindu worshippers and also tourists. Yep. And it's a limestone hill comprising 3 major caves and a number of smaller ones. To visit the temple, there are steps going all the way up there, and you have to climb 272 steps all the way to the main temple.
Lots to explore here on Crab Island. So let's go check it out, no?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Go
go.
walk around, look at the sign.
This says Katam. This must say Pulau.
I think it's just a squiggle.
I think it's interpretive, artistic thing. Oh my gosh, everywhere, Ivana.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of crabs. Everywhere you look. I guess these are baby ones. Not yet. Oh, these two are having a sword fight. Whoa, they're fighting each other. Whoa, these are the crabs that have one big hand. Look over here. They have one big hand and one small hand. Or a claw, whatever you call it. There you have it. We've been here for 15 seconds and we've already found the crabs. The name is fitting. So you've got crabs on the right and motorcycle rental on the left. Because my understanding is cars are not allowed.
No cars allowed.
No cars allowed. Also just not feasible. I mean, look how wide the road is. So it's not practical, but also not allowed.
Yeah.
All right, let's go explore. Lots of businesses, yes. The economic powerhouse of the island.
Yeah. Stores, shops.
Yeah, shops, restaurants.
Electronics shop.
No way. Oh yeah. Very interesting. Man, these small little islands make me feel right at home. You know, I know I'm a tourist, but in a different city, you can be scared. In a different little island, you feel like right at home.
Yeah.
You know? I think I'm the only white guy on the whole island today.
Yeah. By the way, the omelette, clams, and yeah, fresh crab. We're on the crab island, so I figured we have to.
We have to do it.
Yeah, they
Okay.
also have like different menus, different types of crabs. Salted
Sure.
egg, chili, what else? Sweet and sour, steamed crab, curry crab.
So what made you choose chili crab?
She recommended it.
You asked what she wants.
Yeah.
That's what I would do too. Good idea. I was just washing my hands, come out, and Yvonne says I already ordered. I said okay.
Yeah, so that's what we got. So now, do you know how to eat a crab?
I have no idea how to eat crab. Okay, boom, ready. What are you drinking?
Tea.
Chrysanthemum tea.
Hey.
Cool. All right, let's eat.
Woo!
Dun 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 dun.
I don't know how to break this, man. So they'll
Dude, I've never had this in my life. Look at this.
give me a tool.
When I had crab, it was just crab's legs. It wasn't claws. Ooh, still hot. I don't remember much. I remember I was young, my friend's house, and I remember just filling up on salad and rice. So I couldn't eat the crab legs.
Very soft.
So this is fresh crab,
Yeah,
locally caught.
I think so.
Wow.
Must be, it's Crab Island.
It's Crab Island. Yeah, if they're flying in crab to Crab Island, I'd be like, come on, guys. Okay, there you have it. So, Ivana, based on your crab experience, is this worth 80 ringgits?
Yes.
Hello, hi, Mazna Merten here. So today my menu is actually Satay Kajang. First of all, what we need is actually, of course, chicken. And actually, I've already prepped the chicken yesterday, but I'm just going to show you today how I make it. This is the ingredient. Okay, this is fennel, this is cumin, onion, we have ginger, we have galangal, turmeric, ginger, and of course lots of lemongrass. In satay, we need a lot of lemongrass, basically because it brings a taste. And the tip of making satay, you need to roast these two herbs. And then you blend this all together. It becomes like this. The smell is so good. So I'm just going to show you how to make the satay sauce, which is the peanut sauce. It's very simple. So we need peanut, ground nut, onion, bit of chili. This is the garlic, ginger, lemongrass. This is palm sugar. You must actually roast the peanuts. Alright, after you roast the peanut, you need to grind it and it becomes just like this. The paste, alright, the paste is what you see here. Alright, this is the paste. And later when we cook it, we'll need the oil and the sugar. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add this. So I'm going to mix the marinade with the chicken. Lots of sugar. Normally with this recipe, I would use for 1 kilo of chicken, about 1 to 2 cups of sugar. And this is skewer that I already actually soak it for a few hours. So you cut the chicken to cubes so it's easy for you to stick it to this skewer. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to proceed to the next one, how to make the satay sauce. Okay, the ground nut, you're going to roast it for a while, yeah, and then you're going to grind it and it becomes like this. Okay, and then all these herbs except the palm sugar, you're going to grind it and it turns out like this. Okay, let's start. Some oil. First, let's cook this one. In Selangor, basically in Klang Valley, satay is our snack, right? Family, it's a family thing. Okay, I'm gonna add the peanut. Oh, I love this pot. Now, we're going to agak-agak the water, okay? Seems a lot, but it's not. The gula melaka, the palm sugar. Okay, I'm going to add tamarind juice or tamarind paste, about this much. Agak-agak. Again, agak-agak. Cooking always agak-agak. How you like the taste. And let it cook for 20 minutes maybe until the sugar dissolves. Let's go see our satay. I don't use much fat on it. I use a lot of the breast. So when we cook the satay, normally, yeah, we use oil and the lemongrass to infuse, and then of course this one to just dab on it. The more oil you use, the nicer it tastes. This one looks ready. It's a bit brown. We'll do a Ta-da! This soup is very simple. We can eat it with baguette, you know. I'm going to show you how I serve it, okay? So now the satay is ready, and this is how it looks like. There you go. And we'll have it with the nasi ipit, rice cake, bit of onion, bit of cucumber, the satay, and last but not least, the satay sauce. Enjoy the satay kajang. Bye!
We are at Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Mosque. The beauty of this mosque is that we in Malaysia, we call this mosque the Blue Mosque. And the architecture design of the mosque is a combination of the Malay and modernist style of architecture.
All right, here we are, guys. Check out this satay. We've got 4 different types of meat. Goat, which we have tried before. Rabbit. 2 ostrich satays, which is amazing, as well as duck. So we've got a delicious meal here. We are just getting back to KL from Malacca, from Hari Raya.
Tell me that's not the best satay you ever had.
The meat is so soft.
It's like melt in your mouth kind of meat.
Whoa! This is the best satay I ever had. The meat is amazing.
Right, right.
You don't even have to chew it. You just put it with your tongue and it just falls apart, and it's so good.
It melts.
Whoa, guys, this is almost 6 stars.
Wow.
It almost broke the scale. Dude, ostrich is so good. Are you kidding me?
Good, right? Okay, try it.
Come on. We could have just got ostrich. 10 ostrich.
Okay, well, you haven't tried the kambing, which is
Wow.
goat, and the rabbit. So, see which one you like better.
Okay, this is rabbit. Let's try rabbit. My first time having rabbit? I don't think so. I think I've had it before,
Yeah,
but obviously,
different.
definitely
No,
first time
no,
having
that's a
satay.
satay.
Exactly. Okay, here we go.
So are you planning really to get married for this year or next year?
Actually this year.
Mm.
October, so I postponed to next year.
It's good too.
Also very good. But there's like fatty bits
250.
and kind of uneven parts.
Right.
A little bit more gamey. I don't know if you guys know what the word gamey means, but it means like game meat.
More chewy.
250.
Meat you have to catch yourself. Like meat that's not domesticated.
I have
More gamey. But also very good.
Big family.
So we are in Kampung Kuantan. We are going to see the fireflies. But remember, to visit fireflies at Kampung Kuantan must go at night. It's not during the daytime. Kampung Kuantan is around 60 kilometers away from Kuala Lumpur and also in the state of Selangor.